I hope you are enjoying these different ideas of these cards, because I think, again, that they're endless. And I love using these cute little note cards. It's really fun. All right, so this next card, this one is a little bit more challenging, but a really cool technique. And I really like the idea of having a little star, like a sunburst kind of thing on your card. So what I did was I cut up some designer series paper for you in little triangles. And how I did that was I cut strips of 1 inch by 5 inches. And then I cut them in half diagonally. So for example, this would be a 1 inch strip right here. And then I cut it diagonally to make 2 triangles. Okay, so you've got your choice. I actually think I'm going to use the polka dot side this time, just to kind of mix things up. Again, you can use whatever designer series paper you want for this project. I think, again, like I said, I'm going to do the 2 polka dots. So last time I did stripes and polka dots. This time I'm going to do polka dots and polka dots. It's going to be a lot of polka dots. So basically the idea is you're going to just alternate the pieces and glue them across your card. I like to do this as a dry run first to make sure that I have everything fitting, and then I glue things down. I don't like to glue first. That is a no-no. So just going to kind of lay things down like a template. And the other thing is that sometimes you want your pieces, some pieces to be a little bit wider. So what you can do is slide it down like I did, and then you can cut your paper so that it's shorter, so it doesn't go all the way down, because you don't want it to go all the way across, but you do want a little bit of variety. So fun. Such a fun technique. So I'm going to turn this a little bit, kind of give myself a little bit more of an angle. There we go. Again, it's kind of just playing around with it. I will say I am not an expert at this technique. I just thought it was a really fun technique to try, and you should have plenty of strips to do this with. Now I'm trying to figure out, I think maybe my strips were skinnier last time, maybe, or maybe I need to back out a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's what my problem is. I needed to back out a little bit more so I can get more curve in there. So again, I'm just kind of doing my little template. So, such a cool look. Okay. So just playing with placement. Okay. Polka dot and polka dot. Okay. And then the other thing, we just want to make sure that our label is going to cover up any white showing. So let's go ahead and just get started gluing some of these pieces down, and we will see where we end up. And I think I'm going to do is put glue actually on the card itself so that it doesn't make a big mess when I go to trim these edges off. So trying to get it at an angle so that it starts to form the circle, because that's what, I mean, ultimately that's what we want, is this kind of nice little starburst to form. So I think we need to have wider pieces that kind of push us to form that little starburst. I'm going to tilt this a little bit more, like so. Yeah, and I like this idea of putting putting adhesive directly on the card itself and not on the strips, because that way if I need to trim the strips down, I can do that and they don't interfere. So just gluing down each strip. And I am overlapping them just a little bit so that I get that curve that I want. And let's back that up a little bit. I'm going to trim these down. Okay. So again, it's just playing with pattern, playing with color. I love it. I think these are really cool to see. And again, we are going to trim down everything that's poking up over the card. So I am again just overlapping these pieces a little bit and trimming them down. So we aren't going to need all that layer. Put a little bit more adhesive down here. And our last one here. And there we go. Let's go ahead and trim these off. Okay, so time for the trimming portion. So now that we've got our card little fan going on, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim all these edges off. So I'm gonna use a larger pair of scissors just because it's easier to cut that way. And I'm just gonna go across and cut all the edges off. Like so. Isn't that fun? Okay, and then we have our little starburst here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp and heat emboss this little sentiment on this layer. This is again using that Stitch So Sweetly dies. And I am going to glue that right there in the center. And I kind of like how it's like twisting into itself. That's really cool. And that was created because I did layers. Okay, so Cue the Confetti again is the sentiment I'm using. This time I'm going to be using the white emboss powder, so I need my Versamark ink, which is right in here. So, Cue the Confetti, stamp that in Versamark. Throw some white Stampin' Emboss powder on it. Just cleaning up my little areas here. We don't want the white emboss powder everywhere. And then we will heat set this. All right. Woo, look at that fun. Okay, so one other thing that I did was I took adhesive and I put it on the back of my label. So if I get my, where's my snail? Where did it go? Ah, here it is. So get my adhesive. And I'm just gonna put a few strips of adhesive on the back here. And that's just gonna be to help me put some ribbon, a little kind of nest of ribbon on the back of my label. So it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna want to start my little nest here diagonally, you know, just do a few loops, a few little uneven sized loops here, and call it good. So I'm going to trim off the ends, put that down and loop it on itself. Okay, so now that I've got my ribbon kind of nested behind my label, I'm going to take some dimensionals, pop up this label, okay, and glue it to the card. Again, you just want to cover those ends of your paper. I just want to trim this down a little bit because it's going over. There we go. Didn't quite get this side of things, did I? It's okay. All right. So there's our cute little bunch of ribbon. And then last but not least, of course, we have to do some embellishing. So get our little resin dots back and pop a couple little resin dots. Cute. Fun, fun, fun card. I love the polka dots. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you have fun with the Starburst. I'm by no means an expert at it, but I think it's a really fun technique. Probably need to do a little bit more practicing considering both of mine turned out slightly different. But okay, well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed these projects. I hope that you had fun with them and that you're enjoying this new amazing bundle, the Playing with Patterns. I'm going to put my little cards in this fun box. I'm even going to see how many I can hold in here. Maybe I can hold all 8 in here comfortably. That would be really cool. So yeah, I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and stick around for the prizes. It's Prize Patrol next, where I put all of your names in the prize box and then I draw for fun gifts. Look at that. I have a cute little completed box full of fun little cards. What a great gift this would make. Let's see if I can get my ribbon wrapped around. Let's see, maybe, maybe not. Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next month for more fun and creativity delivered right to your door. Thank you. Bye-bye.